come back to the papers right now. The Punch is the first paper we're going to go to quickly, and let's start off with the analysis. You can be part of the analysis as well. Don't forget the phone numbers will be there on the screen where you can start dialing. Let's get to hear what you think workers deserve in Nigeria. That should be like a benchmark conversation when you call in. But the Punch is a newspaper. Let's take a look at it. The front page of the Punch has a header: Labour demands wage review to ease cost of living crisis. NAS to address workers' concerns. Labour rejects 70K pay over rising inflation and others. You may wonder, but didn't they accept it earlier? CBEX resumes operations despite SEC ban. 1.2 trillion EFCC. Guys, did I not say this last week? But anyway, let's move on. 3 judges suspended as NJC voids Imo acting CJ's appointment. But let's start off with the first story. You have played with numbers all through the years, yes, from the financial aspect as well, Nairametrics, you name it, by the name Nairametrics. There you have it. CBEX is back. It's like a part 2 of a movie. CBEX returns.
A Ponzi scheme is always a Ponzi scheme. And what they're probably trying to do is to try and get more monies to pay off some of the things that, some of the holes that have already been dug. And my advice to Nigerians would be simple. It's a Ponzi scheme. Don't listen to anybody telling you to invest in CBEX. The returns are like 50% in a month. Any business that is giving you, even drugs, those who the drug cartels don't get 50% returns in a month, because when you calculate the cost of producing and the cost of even managing that process, yes, there's a lot of cash involved, but SEC has banned them. So Nigerians, please listen to regulatory authorities who know what this is about, and the FCC is currently probing. But it's a Ponzi scam, in my own opinion, and we should stay far away from it. Usually, you just say give it arm's length. So let's give it arm's length.
Okay, all right.
I mean, why do you think that you worry that there still will be Nigerians that would still go into this deceptive scheme? Do you think that there are Nigerians that will still be taken advantage of?
So when you say Nigerians, yes, Nigerians, but it's
human nature.
It's human nature for quick money, fast returns. But like they say, the riskier the venture,
no risk, no reward.
Fast and furious.
So the higher the risk, the more the returns. So if you are willing to take that risk for 50% returns, and let me just say this: your 50% returns is 50% of your money being given back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it, pretty much.
You are going to lose
a circle. The other 50.
The other, well, technically 100, because they will give, if you put 1 million, they give you 500,000, so you're expecting 1 million back.
They say scared money don't make no money.
So okay, let's look at the next paper, the Nigerian Tribune. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning, we can see the top Nigerian leaders set to host National Political Summit. We're seeing there are issues relating to constitutional democracy to be discussed. Anyaku to inaugurate Awolowo, Dosunmu, Tambuwal, Daniel, Fayemi, others as convening committee members today. Akwa Ibom governor speaks in parables, suggests he may be leaving PDP. Interesting story. I'd like you to react to that. CBEX, EFCC declares foreigner wanted. Court orders EFCC to release Achimugu. Afrima 2025. Lagos ready to host Africa, Sanwo-Olu declares. ACF says North too strategic to be ignored. Mark Ban, MBF disagree over visit to U.S. ambassador. Appeal court upholds conviction of Professor Ogban for electoral fraud. I think
Akwa Ibom.
Yes, Akwa Ibom. Governor Umo Eno has been very open about his support for the APC government, even though he's technically still a political party member of the People's Democratic Party. We saw where he applauded the president and endorsed him for 2027. Now, the rumors we're hearing are that there's a potential of him to move to the APC.
And they said he was speaking in parables. Let me just break the parables down for you. Yesterday we had a guest that moved from from PDP in Delta State to APC. He used the analogy of a car. He said they thought what they had was a punctured tire, but they didn't know it was the brain box. That it was a brain box. Now, Governor Eno is going into aviation and aerospace. He said that the airplane is faulty in PDP and it doesn't want it to crash. So, I mean, what can you infer from a faulty airplane that is taking them to their destination?
So, faulty airplane.
That's the analogy.
That's the parables he was speaking at.
And so what he's waiting for is that signing fee has not reached where he wants to get to. So once he gets there, of course the
So he has already collected his boarding pass.
Well, he's looking at the contracts.
Okay.
Do you understand? So he's looking at the contract. So once both parties agree the fees, then the transfer will go through the window, and that's what it is.
So it's a done deal. You almost
maybe they are going through the medical.
If you could give you a percentage of
well, so let's say so like I said, I'm for this segment of analyzing carpet crossing.
Yes.
Would use the transfer window.
Okay.
I don't want to call them defections. I want to call them transfers.
Yeah.
If you call them defections, then is like, but they are transfers. So people are looking at what's the sign-on fee. Then you now look at
what are the clauses?
So they are going to. He's probably at the stage of doing his medicals. So once he passes those medicals, you can be rested.
I mean, he was spotted in the political treadmill.
Exactly. So he would leave the which state is he? Akwa Ibom Stars.
Ibom Stars, yeah.
And then so he would move to the what's it called?
The elite.
The elite league that where there is about being formed.
Abuja United.
Okay.
Abuja United.
We're still going to look at
it's more like
Nigeria United.
No, Nigeria we hail thee.
Or Nigeria Avengers.
No. Nigeria we hail thee will do well for that.
Okay.
Okay. We're still going to be looking at some of the papers on the front pages this morning, and we'll open the phone lines shortly for you to call.
Initially, we were looking at one of the papers you took about a political, convergence.
Yes, it was on the Nigerian Tribune, I believe, on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. The big story there was top Nigerian leaders set to host national political summit.
What's your take on this, Uade? And does this trump the national summit of before? Where you have and where is, by the way, where is the National Youth Confab, the conference? Where is it? It was touted to be in February from last year. Anyway, what's your take on all of this?
Well, I think it does make sense, in my own opinion. There is so much disunity among the other political parties, PDP, the Labour Party, and there are too many. For me, I think that there are too many small parties and everybody wanting to be the next president, even when you don't have the right structure. And I think this should open up the door for everybody to sit down in one space and agree and align in the best way they think they can towards, first and foremost, getting Nigerians to better understand how to go about the
You know what? We'll come back to talk about that, but let's go on a very quick break. When we come back, we have more conversations this morning on Breakfast Central. Stay with us. Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're still reviewing the newspaper front pages. Our last paper was the Nigerian Tribune, where we talked about the political summit. We have Uade Ahimie here. Just to mention that the political summit they're talking about is the 22-member convening committee for a national political summit that's happening today in Lagos. But let's move away from the Nigerian Tribune now to the Daily Independent newspaper. And on the front page of the Daily Independent newspaper, citizens gagged, can't express themselves freely. NLC says. In Rivers State, we have lawyers protest in Abuja, seek Fubara's reinstatement. This is an update with Rivers State. And CAN urges national reconciliation, calls for mutual trust. Lagos committed to development of creative industry, says Sanwo-Olu. Alleged 8.7 billion naira money laundering, court orders EFCC to release Aisha Achimugo. Experts warn RMDC, I beg your pardon, bill will put thousands of jobs at risk. Appeal court upholds conviction of professor for electoral fraud. At the top of the papers, we see AFC urges urgent action on insecurity in the north. Enough of social science graduates. We need problem solvers, the minister says. And that's all on the front page. Well, let's talk about NLC lamenting that citizens are gagged and can't express themselves freely. Do you believe that the current administration is one that runs, against dissenting voices? Or do you agree with the NLC?
Not really. And why did I say that? You're free to speak, but the only thing is that they have the louder voices at the end of the day. So whether it's on social media or it's us who do analysis, we just try and, as much as possible to share opinions and say what we believe and think is the right path to go. But by and large, I don't think they are. What you are free to express yourself. Although the only other thing that you see is that there is a barrage of supporters or those who are inclined to this administration, coming out at you, and maybe that's why the NLC say that Nigerians are being gagged, but Nigerians are free to express themselves. We come on TV and try and express ourselves.
But is there freedom after expressing yourselves? Because we've seen TikTokers that have been arrested, taken to Abuja because they criticize the IG or someone in government. You might not be gagged at this level, yes, and then the retail backlash.
And that's fine, which is wrong in my own opinion. However, freedom of speech doesn't mean that at the end of the day we don't follow the rules and regulations of what you say, and that's why you see many times when we come here and analyze, we are always being practical about the things that are being said. Where I don't have any evidence or any documentary evidence, I'm not going to tell you that, this has happened and this has not happened. But if I do know for sure and I have the right information, I would provide that for you. And that's what we should do, rather than hearsay. I know a lot of people call it what you call beer parlor talk, but sometimes beer parlor talks are true because you meet the right people who are in those spaces and they tell you the truth about them. So you just need to sieve out which beer parlor talk is the right one, rather than just go ahead. Yeah, but criticizing the administration I've criticized this administration in terms of policy. Are you with me? And in terms of implementing policy. But I've never one day gone out to say, Mr. President is XYZ. No. That for me is being rude. But let's criticize on the issues, not on the person. And that's always my view. We criticize on the issues and not the person.
All right. Let's take a look at another paper very quickly. Let's see what else we have quickly. Possibly go back to the Daily Independent. I think I'd like to go back to that paper, Daily Independent. Rivers, lawyers protest in Abuja seek Fubara's reinstatement. That's still continued. Story. Can urges national reconciliation, calls for mutual trust. Lagos committed to development of creative industry, says Sanwo-Olu. And then this big one, it says alleged 8.7 billion naira money laundering. Court orders EFCC to release Aisha at Chicago. I'm sure you saw that story flying up and down where she went on a hunger strike. She's not going to eat, but then again, she presented herself to the EFCC. Videos were also in circulation right there in the court as well. Let's go on the break. We'll be right back. All right, guys. So I think it's been a packed show. If you ask me.
It has. And I think final thoughts will be from Uade to find out.
Yeah. Work is day.
1 minute max or 30 seconds. Work is day. What are the reforms you would love to see? What are the changes you'd love to advocate for workers?
So change, first and foremost, changes that workers get a decent wages that not take them to the bus stop but take them home. But even the workers themselves have to come back and realign how work is being done, because it should be apolitical and build systems that would outlive them as workers. Because when you retire, there are new people that come in, and when there is no system, then you depend on the messiah. All in all, I wish all workers across the world a wonderful Workers' Day.
Thank you.